Let's record.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is again great to be here with you all, and just gonna do a quick overview of really just what Penn USA is, what we're doing this year, how you and your members can get involved with us, and then some of the other things we have planned out for this semester and this year, and then we're gonna obviously kick it over to each club to give their presentations. Just a quick note, please try and keep it pretty short, 3-4 minutes. Try to leave a spot for a question. We might go over time. I know we had a couple clubs join in here at the end, and so it's going to be, I think, about 11 or 12. So yeah, just try to keep it a little brief. Please make sure to mention any events you have upcoming, anything you want a co-host for. We're definitely obviously here to help with that, as well as anything else we can help with, obviously. And then if any clubs want to maybe co-host an event or whatever, definitely be talking to chat or Penn USA chat. And yeah. So a quick overview of Penn USA. All of us were previously a member of Midwest Blockchain Consortium. It's something we started late fall last year to try to bring some Midwest clubs together, and then Eric reached out, and we've been in contact with Ben before, and then we decided to join Penn USA and really run the US operations, because there's just so much that's going on in the US, and Penn Global is focused on all these other national chapters and trying to expand globally, which is really awesome. And to be a part of such an old organization is really, really cool. And so I'm the president of the board. We have Alex Shaw, the vice president of the board. We have, Gerardo Garcia, who is the director of finance, Adam Patel, director of communications, Jack Gilchrist, who's director of tech, and then Zain Habib, who's the director of education. So yeah. Any of you wanted to intro real quick? We don't have too much time, but we'll just go forward. Yeah, I'm sure you'll meet them. It's fine. So yeah, our focus this year, and obviously this semester as well, is really just growing our reach. We're trying to collaborate, obviously, with more schools, more universities, but also more faculty. That's something we're starting to get into more. Some of the different research and blockchain centers of the different universities. We're finding there's a lot of interest there, and there's already 12 plus digital finance and blockchain related like blockchain centers. And so with that, it's going to be really great to see more professors, to get them involved and see how we can connect them with other professors that are teaching blockchain, that are researching, and all that different stuff. But obviously growing among students, we want to help out more clubs as well. And then we have our event series. Some of you might already be a part of it, but it's really just bringing different clubs together, usually 2 of them, and trying to really grow the size of these events, and then also really trying to bring people collaborating across different universities, even across the nation. And so that'll be really exciting to continue to do that, and reach out to us for any speakers or any other clubs you want to get involved with. Hopefully you guys can start to do that amongst yourselves too. And then we're going to continue with giving club updates. We might not necessarily do this format, but it's going to be more of like a, hey, here's what we're doing this month. Here's how you can help us out. And we're going to continue to help you guys do that. And then finally, we're doing sort of a grants program, and it's going to be sort of a Penn grants program, but also there's plenty of other ones going on, like the SpareX lifted one that we're collaborating with them on, which is to support women in blockchain. So that's really awesome. And then Uniswap and multiple others that are in space. So funding, education, and other things going on. So we have a few committees where people can get really involved in Penn with. We've done a few already with multiple professors from multiple universities. We've had people from master's programs all the way to undergraduate programs speaking on what blockchain classes they're teaching, how it's going, what students feel about it, how it can be taught in other places. And so that's really awesome for us to get insights from and build from their syllabi and just to know what it's like at these universities. So we meet weekly now, and we are trying to establish accredited blockchain courses. We have a partnership with EY. It's kind of still in the works, but we're really trying to roll out this course across the nation, as many universities as we can. And then we have this Ben Learn, which is our education portal idea that we want to build out. We already have the Ben Wiki, and so we're kind of transitioning that to a bigger Ben Learn platform, which is going to be more talked about in the future, but it could be really awesome with learning and earning, sort of like Coinbase earning. You can think about that. So it's a big thing we have in the process. And so we also have the Ben Tech Committee, which obviously a lot of things going on here as well, but technical events and workshops. We just did an event with Decentraland and Decentraland University. We were able to stream an event within Decentraland. That was really awesome, and going to continue to do cool things like that. And then we have the governance with Uniswap and helping universities become delegates there. We have an event tomorrow night to go through that if you guys want to be involved. And then we're also in the process of creating a summer internship to build out our Bencoin. So that's going to be in the works as well. It should be really awesome. And finally, we have our Career Center, and this is basically going to be building out our access to companies and people hiring in the space, and trying to really just place students into roles directly out of college, give internships, give full-time jobs. We're really going out there looking for that. We're also trying to support you with the different resources that are out there, like the different jobs boards. And then we have someone that counsel you and meet one-on-one with different students about what are the options and how can we help, resume tips, things like that. We're really trying to build that out as well. And obviously alumni relations is going to be huge. So yeah, these are just some links to join if you haven't already, obviously. I will obviously be sending this deck out, and you mostly have access to it. So yeah, if you haven't joined the channels yet, definitely do, and let me know, or Eric know, or anyone, if you need any of these links. So yeah, if there's not any questions, I ran through that kind of quick, hoping to give you guys some more talking room.
Yeah, what I also want to stress is that these committees and even the Career Center are open for any club leader and you guys to join to help be a part of these projects. So you can be a part of the Ben's projects, like the Wiki and the Learn and the Bencoin and the Uniswap delegates, and work on those projects. But you can also be a part of it too if your own club is looking at doing similar projects. Like if you're trying to launch your own club token, you're trying to become your own delegate, you can come to the committee meetings and ask your questions to kind of help get started there. So it's kind of twofold. So we're looking to grow both of those committees to have more students and more club leaders working on these projects with us.
Awesome. Well, I will throw it over to our first one, actually my alumni, MUBC, where I was president in 2019. And I believe Alex is here to talk about them.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? My name's Alex. I'm the president of MUBC currently. Before me, it was Jack Gilchrist, and before him, it was Ashton Bargate. We're both here as well. So the focus of MUBC this semester at least is industries and mass blockchain adoption. We like to focus more on the business side and get the business school involved and work with companies like EY and KPMG to talk more about blockchain adoption. Our membership base is mainly Miami University students, faculty members, and alumni. And our biggest successes, I believe, is the 2020 Virtual Blockchain Conference, which Ashton put on, and the MUBC token, which I believe is now the Bencoin. I could be wrong, but I think that's right. Um, and our biggest initiative is to institute EY blockchain courses at Miami University. We work a lot with them, and they have presented us with the idea. So we're working with them to get that implemented. Also, this semester, we're looking to do a case study in April, and EY has already agreed to judge that and kind of mentor the whole case study process. And mainly what we need as a club is we obviously could always use more connections with speakers and professionals in the industry, and would love to collaborate with you guys and a bunch of other university clubs. In March, coming up here, we already have some events scheduled. We have a Crypto 101 event coming up that I'll be happy to get other clubs involved. And Ben's going to be involved. So if any of you guys want to get involved, you can reach out to me. Another one where it's with the University of Michigan and Elon. So I'm always open to working with different clubs and universities. So feel free to reach out if you want to be part of anything, or if you want us to be part of anything. And our social medias on that slide. So connect with us on LinkedIn, and that's probably the best way to reach out, or just use Telegram. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, sounds good. Oh, wait. I'll put my Telegram in the chat.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Chris with Rutgers Blockchain. We're out in Jersey, and we got a lot of good stuff cooking out back east. We were pretty tight with Ben, and we kind of don't really have a whole club thing going on at Rutgers. Instead, our thing is kind of like a new special initiative on the books with the dean's office and the business school. We call it a joint student faculty initiative, where it's basically students and faculty coming together to raise more money from external sources, put on better, larger events, do more exciting things like sending students to these great conferences that Ben puts people up at, like Miami, San Francisco, Boston, all that good stuff. So that's kind of the big picture of what we're doing. And over the past year and a half, 2 years, we've had a lot of successes, I would say, a lot of W's on our record. We currently have like 2 or 3 blockchain courses at the business school that came out as a result of us lobbying and trying to get those things passed. We were also, this is pretty dope, outstanding chapter of the year. So shout out to Eric and the team, very smart people, having won that. And some other things that we just did the past year in response to COVID was we started a $300,000 CARES Act funded, if you heard of the CARES Act before, CARES Act funded COVID research project. We got some people from J&J on the team, since they're right down the street from us. And we are currently almost done with developing the prototype, which is very exciting. We have also started a podcast, which is pretty cool. So we got like this really tight relationship with the dean's office, where if we have an idea, more than likely they're going to let us go through with it and fund it with our funds, obviously. So we started that and caught up in the bureaucracy, but I'm sure that it will get done by the end of this semester. Currently, new stuff on the stove right now is we're talking to some friends out at Saudi Electronic University in Tsinghua, out in the Far East, and we're trying to put together a mini project with them. We got a call next week with Eric and the team to try to figure out what we can do. And also, J&J, like I said, right down the street from us, is also interested in working on kind of like a pharma supply chain related project. So that's in the works. How to help us. We are currently looking for funds to try to renovate our office at the business school. Crazy old. Trying to get all those new, I don't know the technical term for it, but trying to basically make it a podcast studio rather than just setting up the mics that we have in there now. That's kind of the biggest thing that we're trying to tackle. But besides that, very interested in working more with other universities, putting events together. We got really tight plugs at like IBM, the Big Four, Consensus, Galaxy Digital, Amazon, and a couple other big players out there. Oracle too. Shout out to Todd Little, my man. And yeah, happy to be a part of what's going on here.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Catherine and I'm a third year at UC Berkeley studying applied math with a focus on econ. I've been in blockchain at Berkeley for almost 4 semesters now and I'm head of external, meaning I'm in charge of all our external facing aspects. And it's really, really great to be talking to you all. Nice to meet you. So blockchain at Berkeley, or BAB as we like to call it, has a few primary focuses. We work on consulting, building proof of concepts, dApps, and more for primarily Fortune 500s and blockchain startups, where we have a team of developers, business consultants, and designers who have to go through a semester of training before they can work on an external project. Our education department focuses on blockchain fundamentals and developers courses, as well as our edX courses. And they house a lot of our research and discussions, from white paper circles to DeFi discussions, as well as like our Bitcoin core contributors team. And design works to make blockchain more appealing to the public. So through designing how our products will work, as well as our public education content, because we want people to look at our content, so it has to look nice. And for example, they designed this slide as part of a BAB slide deck revamp to give us a fresh new image. And for external projects, they're in charge of the UI UX and making sure users have a good experience. We started BAB Labs last semester as a way to bring our different departments together. So lots of research and development is done here as well. And overall, we really just want to be a place for blockchain enthusiasts to come and speak, ask questions, learn, connect, and really grow together. Our membership base is primarily undergrads, although we do have a good amount of master's and PhD students as well. And we found that they serve as mentors for the younger students, and really fruitful relationships have come out of this. Our biggest successes, it was sort of hard to pinpoint just one, so I thought of a few. Our education content is something we're really proud of. We've had over 190,000 students worldwide who have taken both our in-person courses as well as our online courses. San Francisco Blockchain Week is something we organize and usually have our members moderate for the panels, and it's just a great way to bridge industry and academia in a cool venue, lots of great opportunities, and just some really fun external projects as well, because we started primarily with enterprise, but then our ultimate goal was to work with blockchain startups as well, so to sort of give back to the community. And so it's been exciting to finally have this happen. Our biggest initiatives. Our Community Node initiative is something we're excited about, where we host nodes for different organizations, and we're really currently fleshing out this program. So it'll include a grants program, and it just involves a lot of people, so we need to make sure it's done well and prepared for, since it will be a part of our external presence of BAB. Our delegation and governance has been extremely fun, so we have some comp in uni, and a group of our members love to discuss and debate the new proposals and then vote, and we found it's just a great way to engage with the crypto world on Twitter, because it's a new way for our members to share their thoughts. And yeah, one of the core values of BAB is open source contribution, and so our members are always finding new ways to engage with this as well. How to help us? We would really like to be connected with you all. This is something that, since becoming head of external, I've been pushing more for BAB, so I'd love to meet you, have our members talk, or even collaborate on something, so please do let me know if you have any thoughts or just want to talk. Thanks so much. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right, thanks.
Yo, what's up, everyone? I'll keep this brief because I know you probably don't want to hear me speak. My name's Josh. I'm president of the Tufts Blockchain Club. I'm a senior. I'm also studying applied math. Catherine, good choice. And I'll be graduating this May, and I'll be joining Genesis Global Capital full time as a research analyst, which is over-the-counter crypto trading and lending desk, and they're a DCG subsidiary, digital currency group. So yeah, I would love to. I mean, a lot of my focus there will be on DeFi and DeFi strategy, and creating a bridge between how do people call it, TradFi, CeFi, and DeFi. So I'd love to connect with people, and especially DeFi enthusiasts. So I'll shift our focus now back to the Tufts Blockchain Club. So we're I'd say a young kid on the block. We were founded 2018. We have 100% undergrad membership base, 20 active members. Some things that we'd like to do going forward. A big, I'd say, initiative of ours would be to create a Jumbo coin. Jumbo is the mascot of Tufts. We'd like to create a token for the Tufts Blockchain Club, similar to what MUBC did. And I'm sure there are a lot of other clubs that have gone down that path. So I'd be really interested as well, talking to people about how they created a token for their club. What blockchain did you deploy it on? Did you deploy it on Ethereum or some test net, etc.? And then, yeah, I think the really exciting thing about, or the really exciting and innovative thing about crypto is it's more rethinking money at the end of the day, where when you have this token on a blockchain, you can create your own token economics. You can create your own incentive structures to incentivize certain behaviors within a community, and obviously interactive governance as well, which is something we don't see today with conventional ownership in a stock, let's say. But yeah, very happy to be here, and very excited to connect with everyone in the Ben network. So yeah, that was my 2 cents there.
Do we have Sean or someone from Spartan Blockchain on the call? If not, I can circle back later.
No, you're good. I see Sean's talking, but I think you might have his audio changed. So I don't know what Sean wants to do.
I can come back to you later. That's if you want to. Unless you're ready to give it.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm Sawyer Rubin. Nice to meet you all. It's been really cool to hear you guys in other parts of the country just kind of doing some of the same stuff. So our focus at Spartan Blockchain SBS has kind of shifted a little bit. So now we're going to focus on promoting accessibility through education, research, and development. So we've kind of pared down our membership into a more track-based to give our members a little bit more of a focus each semester and work them through a pipeline, ultimately to develop them with skills, whether it's business analyst skills or technical skills, to go forward into those internships and full-time jobs. As far as our membership base, we mostly are undergrad. We have a few graduate students that kind of advise and serve on the board. Our biggest success, has been growing our membership pretty much twofold. In the past 2 semesters, we have a really young and exciting group with us today. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat tonight, so thank you all for coming out. As far as biggest initiatives, we're looking to get more involved with Ben and be involved with you all. It's been really cool to hear about Rutgers and Tufts doing some really innovative and like cool ideas with the podcast and some different like local businesses. So on top of those initiatives of just like reaching out, like you all have mentioned before, we're hoping to build more educational tools and build out this pipeline for students. So that goes along like hand in hand with our education, research, and development tracks, just to help move our students through a nice and structured program. And then finally, like how to help us. Sharing any of this content that you guys are creating is awesome. I know we've definitely like used Bab's content a little bit, the blockchain at Berkeley. and we're kind of developing our own with IBM. I'm sure you guys have seen all the courses. So yeah, just any of that or that information is definitely helpful. So thanks. Nice to meet you all.
Hello, everybody. My name's Stratton Backgeorge. I'm the vice president of Elon Blockchain. Like Tufts, we're a pretty new club. We were founded in, I want to say 2019. And so our focus is really general blockchain information, bridging the gap between, those in our club who have more knowledge of blockchain to those of the new members. So really just getting the knowledge out there. And our membership base is solely university students, undergraduates. We have 2 faculty advisors, and we've had a few alumni come and speak, but our true core is undergrads. Our biggest success has been our speaker events. For the size of our club, we've been able to have 3 or 4 speaker events, which I think is very impressive. We even hosted one with Rutgers. Last week was the Oracle event, so that was awesome. And our biggest initiative is, again, growing the club at Elon. I don't think blockchain is a very talked about subject at our school, in the business school. Kind of getting the name around there has been our biggest push. And lastly, what we need is Scott is the GOAT. I'm sorry, I just saw that comment. But what we need is collaboration from other universities, which we've had and has been great. But I think that's the biggest thing that has helped us. The Rutgers event gave us 5 new members, I think, 5 to 8 new members. So all along the board, just collaboration is what we need. So thank you. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex, currently a senior at Penn, and currently the co-president of Penn Blockchain. I think, this is our first time being at a Penn event, so really excited about meeting all of you and kind of learning about this community. So yeah, just for some background, Penn Blockchain has been around since 2017, and we kind of start out, our main focuses were kind of speaker events, bring in folks from the broader crypto space to come talk to students, and also education, which was kind of like designing and teaching courses related to crypto basics and also kind of like smart contract programming. But we're also looking into kind of these days into creating groups interested in doing research around new projects, and also like a committee to kind of work more on software development initiatives. And so, our membership is, I would say, split between undergrads and MBAs. The club was founded by like half undergrads and half MBAs, and the ratio kind of fluctuates throughout the semesters. But yeah, and we also have other graduate students as well, whether it be from the law school or engineering, that are always involved. I think the biggest success was for us in this past year is definitely rescaling. I think we lost a lot of members from just like them graduating. And so we definitely had a really big effort in terms of scaling the organization back to like 30 plus members, where it was like before. And some of our biggest initiatives this past semester, and also we're like looking forward, is coming up with these new committees on like investing/research and kind of like the more core technology, and kind of growing that community of being involved in crypto more than just education and hosting speaker events. And we've always planned a conference every year, and so we'll be trying to navigate that virtually this semester. And in general, what we need is we're just always trying to look to like collaborate, kind of plug ourselves into the more, and also just seeing how we can get involved in crypto at a more like, whether it be open source developments or kind of just getting more involved with like actual projects and protocols. But yeah, I think that's an overview of what we do, and happy to take any questions if there are any.
Hey Alex, I'd love to hear about how you guys interact between undergraduates and MBAs. I know you and a few others said that you have more than just undergraduates. So how's the dynamic like in your club?
Yeah, it's usually it's definitely a really interesting point, since I think in general, like when we were back in person, like undergrads tended to live on campus, whereas MBAs kind of lived off campus, and there's always like this kind of coordination issue. And but in general, I think like it's like historically, I think the undergrads have been more focused on the tech side of things, and the MBAs have been focused on kind of like biz dev, kind of like venture side of things. So there's always been this like interesting synergy between the two groups. And yeah, I guess it's always been a great like synergy, in the sense that like I'm sure that undergrads wouldn't be able to meet MBAs without like the club. But yeah, it's definitely something that we think about a lot in terms of how to get everyone involved, and something that, despite the challenges, is ultimately like a really good relationship.
Awesome, thanks.
Do we have Daniel or someone from MIT Bitcoin Club that is able to share?
No, we don't. I was looking through the chat. They said they might not be able to make it. But I can kind of do this one because I was part of the MIT Bitcoin Club. So I was president 2017, 2018. And in my last call with the current leaders of the club, basically the MIT Bitcoin Club is very, very technical. It focuses a lot on white paper discussions, a lot on like smaller, more intimate groups. And when we bring in speakers, or I guess when they bring in speakers, it is focused around more like academics, not as much industry, although especially because a lot of the students go more into doing research positions at the DCI or like for other academia research groups. Right, the membership base undergraduates or some nearby community members. So something important to the MIT Bitcoin Club is it's open to communities to come in who wants to see my dog. I have guess what kind of dog I have. And I think an important thing to note is that there's undergraduates and there's also Sloan students, which is the MBA school. There's actually, it was founded by an undergraduate and a Sloan student. So there were the two co-founders. There's Jeremy Rubin from the undergraduate school and Dana Litzer from the Sloan school. The biggest success is the Bitcoin Expo that happens every year. And each year it gets bigger and bigger. My year, I think it was like 900 people. And then next year was a little smaller because of the bear market. But I mean, this year is online, so it can be even bigger. That's a really big thing that's actually happening next month. So I know that one of the things that they're really looking for is to have more and more signups. So we're going to be, and I mean, we like Ben, we're going to be sending out the sign up form for their conference around, and hopefully we can get a lot of signups to attend their conference. What they need, they'd like to have more students joining their discussions. COVID had made the recruitment challenging. All of their events right now are happening online. They do their white paper sessions and their discussions online. So, for everyone else, like they can share those links with us, and then you guys can attend those events and contribute to those discussions. And then, we can help them with their events, hosting some more events together. We want to do some intercollegiate Boston stuff. And the MIT Bitcoin Club is the oldest club in Boston. So they're always like an integral part of that.
Hi, everyone. It's very exciting to meet you all, even though we are all online. I think it would be much cooler to be at the conference together. But I'm Anka, and I'm the president for the Drexel Blockchain. I think we're one of like the 10th or 11th club to present, so there's going to be a lot of repetition here. But some of our main focuses are educational workshops and also providing students with the skills to join the industry after graduation. So what we've been trying to do is just provide a lot of technical workshops in case someone wants to, I don't know, get an internship or a full-time job after they finish school. When it comes to the members, we have both undergrad and graduate students. And for the biggest success actually is one of our members stepped out and become a speaker. And I think this is a personal success for us. And we've had monthly workshops with these graduate students. He's pursuing a PhD right now, but it was something very interesting and useful for our club. And the biggest initiative, we created an alumni database with around 56 people working in the industry. And now the next step would be to pair these people with the students to create some sort of a mentorship program. So I think this would be very cool to share it and open it to the Penn community as well. Because after COVID started, I think we've been hit with the fact that students are not that interested in joining clubs. So one of our struggles is getting more active members, because when it comes to passive members, I think we have more than 100. But when it comes to people actually coming to our events, we're somewhere in the 10, 20 range. So I think Ashton also put it in the chat, but I'll be very curious if anyone has any recruiting strategies or tips and tricks on how to get people involved. And I think I messaged a couple of you, but I'm very interested in just pairing up and hosting events together. So if you want to shoot an email, this is our contact email address. So just drexelblockchain@gmail.com.
Awesome. Hey guys, my name's Ishan Hirnandani, and I'm the vice president of blockchain at Michigan. So let me just tell you a bit about what we're working on. We're trying, we have new members who come in and they start as part of an overall cohort. So first they fill out an application, they join our cohort, learn about blockchain, as well as the overall basics of blockchain, as well as how to develop in Solidity. And then afterwards, only after they present about their project that they're working on, do they become full members. And so afterwards, we have this program called RICE, which means research, internal projects, consulting, and entrepreneurship. And people work on any one of those 4 projects. So I'd say our flagship model, what people know us for, is our consulting, and I'll talk a bit about that later. But we get most of our funding for research, and our entrepreneurial arm is something we're really excited about. Oh, yeah, no worries. As for our members, we do have a majority undergraduate base, and this means like all but 1 or 2. But of these people, I'd say 60% are more technical in nature, CS, data science, whereas 40% are more business, economics, SI, or information focused. Yeah, so we had a few really good successes, and I'd say our fall semester was probably our biggest success yet. We had 4 incredible consulting projects, from stealth startups to a YC crypto company, and we're even working with PayPal, which has been absolutely wonderful. We grew in members from 7 to 51 active members since let's say May of last year. And what are we working on now? So our biggest initiatives are creating an official class at the University of Michigan. Would love to chat with anyone who has done that, and specifically how you found professors. We're finding new companies and creating cool projects for our consulting arm. And like I said, our biggest internal initiative is creating an entrepreneurship arm. So I know Berkeley has the Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. We're not nearly at that level yet, but we're trying to inspire our own students to work on really cool projects and participate in competitions like the International Blockchain Olympiad. So how to help us? First, I want to host a meetups, whether it's a casual, just like get to know you, let's talk about blockchain, or even a social meetup. That's going to be really fun. I've been talking on Clubhouse more and more recently. So if you want to host a call on there, even if it's just the two of us, let's do it. And like I mentioned beforehand, if you've made the class, would love to talk about reaching out to professors and getting them onboarded. I think I'm the last one, Ashton, but I can also talk about growing the club if that's what people are interested in.
Yeah, we got some time. Go for it.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, we had 7 at the end of May because most of our members graduated. And so we thought, oh, well, we have to grow this if we want to do anything special. So, I'd say the most important parts are kind of like uh, finding new members early on, right? Uh, Kind of a blue ocean strategy, what they call in business. And so what we did was we started marketing during the summer when nobody else was marketing. And we had our first cohort during the summer. And that cohort turned out to be extremely successful. People loved learning about blockchain when everyone was at home, bored, alone. And education can be done really well online as long as it's in cohort based. Uh, yeah, our second cohort was during the fall semester, and this went actually really terribly. So that's we realized maybe that's not it, but we had our third cohort during the winter break as well. We had a very long winter break because of COVID, and that again we're gaining new members from that. So the first suggestion I'll give you is to not compete directly with other clubs. It's just easier that way. Second thing I'd say is a lot of people are saying, oh, we have so many members but not nearly enough active members. And what will say for that is create an application. Again, I know Blockchain at Berkeley creates an application. We look to them for inspiration for just about everything. But for us, an application wasn't about filtering people out. It was more about making sure that are you even committed to fill out an application? And we say we're competitive. I'm not going to disclose our actual acceptance rate, but it's not very competitive. It's more just to get people to like think, hey, we're actually a part of something new. And then the third thing I would suggest is, again, kind of dealing with that proof of work mentality, but make them fight to be an actual member of the club. And this doesn't mean, again, going through a competitive application process if you don't have that many applications. For us, this means that they have to go through our education. They have to work in a team on a cohort project at the end of their education, and then they have to present to the entire club on whatever their presentation was about. And by the time they present, they've already invested so much time and energy into blockchain at Michigan that they want to stay and continue to be a part. And that means they're going to be much more likely to participate in our rice projects or anything else. So those are the 3 main tips I would give. Happy to answer any other questions. And if you want to talk about growing a club, feel free to hit me up.
Sean, I had one quick question. I don't know if we don't have time, then I can push it to later. Ashton, how are we doing?
I think we have time for one question, and then we have 5 minutes at the end that's going to be dedicated towards talking about the career center a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. My question to Sean, and I guess to anybody who's kind of experienced this, but one issue that we faced is like reaching out to like either Fortune 500 companies, like you have PayPal, or just like any company in general for like our consulting arm, because at SBS, like we have kind of these ideas of like an education track, like a consulting arm, like your incubation arm. But we've found that the consulting has been really difficult to kind of gain traction in that area with like local startups, like small to mid-sized businesses in the area. Like how do you have connections inside the club that, you know, bring those people into you, or do you go reaching for it?
Yeah, definitely. So I do most of the outreach myself and our head of consulting via LinkedIn. And as for how to get those, first you want to make sure you're providing something of value. The easiest way to do that is through technical members who can actually develop something and show that you have the ability to develop something in blockchain or in Solidity. If it's just going to be business, they likely won't accept your offer. And then the second part is just LinkedIn code messaging, sending those personalized connection requests, standard networking.
For sure. Okay, cool. Thank you.
So you're real fast on that note. Something that's really important to consider is asking these small to medium-sized businesses whether their lack of interest in engaging with you is more so a lack of understanding of the technology and the benefits broadly, or more so of a concern with your club's ability to satisfy the contract. Once you can identify what the problem is, it might help you better sell the contract and then sell your ability to satisfy the contract as well.
Okay, thank you, Alec. That's awesome. That's a good point.
And don't be afraid to start off working for free.
Can I say
Yeah, I think we do enough of that.
Yeah, even like accepting crypto is something we've had to consider, just because some companies don't want to pay in fiat for consulting services, but also starting your networking and outreach like semester or two prior to, because some companies it just takes them a long time to understand why blockchain could be a good solution for them, or if it even is. So starting outreach, and even if it's just through a connection, not for the purpose of doing a project, but just to know the person and know what their company is doing, can often lead to collaborations later on, we've found.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks, everybody. That's some really good information.
I think we have a little bit of time for Antonio to give an update on the Career Center, talk a little bit through that. It should be helpful just to know what we're trying to put together, and yeah, you can take it from there, Antonio.
Yeah, I wanted to say real quick, hold on the point with the connections to industry. This is something that you can definitely leverage the Ben network for, especially, and the other clubs, especially if you are a newer club that don't have the alumni already at your own university, right? Like we were able to get Oracle to come and present at Rutgers. That was through Antonio, who's about to speak, because he works at Oracle, right? Ben alum working at Oracle, able to make that connection. So feel if you don't have the connections at your own uni through your own club, reach out to us, reach out to the other clubs, and we'll help you out with that.
Yeah, exactly. You're totally right, Eric. And essentially about reaching out to speakers and even the consulting situation that you guys discussed, a good method is checking your school, the alumni you have that might be working at that company, and cold outreach that person, and that person can message someone within that company. So that makes things really easy. But expanding on the topic of our career center, Ben has been around for about 7 years, and we have a very vast and solid network of entrepreneurs and very successful people. And in this space, it can be very different to get a job than in a traditional corporation. Like for me to get a job at Oracle, I went to the career center at my school. But in the past, I got internships at venture capital firms or working with companies in the space. And some of those internships that I got was working for free. but still they provided me a lot of value in the experience. But I got them, for example, through Instagram, through messaging some influencers in the space or the company owners. So there is a lot of intricacies that go into getting a job in this space, but we really want to see you guys being successful. It's amazing to see how many people are in this call. And one of the biggest priorities for students is to get a job after they graduate. So getting an internship as a sophomore or junior in the space can be very important because it can give you a solid foundation. Then after 2 years or 1 year to get a job offer in this space. And there is so much potential in this industry, especially because you might not get salary at the beginning or might get paid in crypto, but you can even get paid in equity. And if one of those companies is really successful, you'll have that equity that will be so valuable in the future, which, for example, comparing to my job at Oracle, you just get a paycheck every month. And buying Oracle stock is not something very interesting, but there's so much opportunity in the startup world, and especially around the blockchain industry. So our career center is available at the Penn Wiki. You can just search learn.blockchainedu.org, and there's our career center page. And we have a one-on-one office hours. So you just schedule in the link. One of us will give you a session to help you find a job that you like in this space. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.
I think I'd like to make a point, 2 sentences, 3 sentences about our international chapters. So everything that's happening here, this is all incredible. This is awesome. It's happening everywhere. Penn Italy is having a meetup with its universities. Penn Africa, Penn Latin America, Penn Turkey, Penn India. All of those universities and all those countries are meeting the same way that we're doing here. And if you guys are from any of those countries or if any of those places are important to you in any way, let us know and we can add you to those chats. We can add you to those committees as well to start helping with that. We're doing a lot of translating content. The stuff that we create here gets translated by them to teach their students. And a lot of them are newer than us. So they look to us as kind of for guidance. So that's a very, very important initiative if you guys want to get more involved in that.
Awesome. Well, with that, I want to say again, thank you all for really just showing up and learning about the other clubs, but also for those that submitted the slide deck and presented, really appreciate it. I would love to hear you guys' feedback if this was helpful, if you would like a different format, potentially to do a monthly meeting or semester meeting or something like that. I think we want to at least do this once every semester just to know what everyone's plans going into the next semester and how can us and other clubs help out. But yeah, feel free, if you haven't joined the Ben USA Telegram, make sure to do that. Please share that with any of your members, exec board. We're trying to create one-on-ones between Ben Global and specific clubs. And if we haven't done that already, let us know. Really just hoping to have more one-on-one communication with you all. And please don't hesitate to reach out for us if you need anything. And finally, we have a lot that's going on within Ben that we're trying to do, but it's basically all run with mostly volunteer work, a little bit part-time work is paid, and most of what we do is donations. We're a 501c3. So if you want to get involved, we do have a board member spot available. We do have tech committee, spots available. Obviously, you can just join and come to any of those meetings. But would really love anyone to help out. And we have a lot to do, and hopefully you guys can join us. So thanks again for being here, and thanks for sharing. Hopefully this will help you all to put a face to a name and give you the opportunity to reach out to all these other people that should hopefully be in the Ben USA